Hey, it is Sunday, July 2nd, 1:35 p.m. Pacific time. We got some good views to show you. So that's where we came from. That's out to the west towards the Pacific Ocean. Right there's Anderson Mountain. We'll talk about that in just a second. There's Beach. He is hiking. And out to the east and back down around to the south. Now, if you look directly that way, it almost just looks like a haze of clouds down there in the distance. That's actually Lake Tahoe. And you see Anderson Peak right there with the trees on the top. That trail wraps around to the left, to the west side of it. On the other side is a hut that we're going to stay in tonight. But if you look at that road wrapping around there, way out in the distance, that is Donner Pass. And that's where we're getting off tomorrow. So I always think it's kind of cool when we're hiking and we see way out ahead where we're going. And also, I'm really freaking encouraged by the lack of snow out ahead of us. So we'll see how it goes. But we've got some intel from up ahead as well. It's looking like the snow's melting pretty quick. We're going to have a day, maybe two of snow. North of Donner Pass, it's going to have a little bit of snow coverage. And after that, we should be pretty much clear. And the snow that there is, there's nothing that's particularly steep or sketchy, just a little bit slower because you're navigating. But I think I'm going to be sending both my ice axe and my microspikes home. It's July, and from all accounts, everything north of Donner, with the exception of the first day or two, is pretty much clear. Donner, I'm not worried about, or north of Donner, I'm not too worried about. River Dance went through it, and we talked to him a bit while we were in South Lake, and I think we're all set. So that's exciting. A little bit of catch up to do as far as an update. The past couple of days, last we spoke, it was on the early end of our 26.5-mile day to get through the Desolation Wilderness. Didn't get to camp until like 8:30, 9 o'clock. The bugs were absolutely atrocious. We stopped for water about a mile before camp. They were terrible there. And then at camp, they were terrible again. The past couple of nights, there's been a bug massacre inside of my tent because so many of them get in there while I'm getting everything set up and whatnot. So it just kind of reminds me that there's always a challenge. We're seemingly on the very end of our challenge of snow, and the next one is at least going to include bugs. There might be more challenges than that ahead. We'll see. I was really hoping for non-overlapping challenges. We're still dealing with snow and we've already got bugs, but you don't get to choose sometimes. So we're out here making it. I don't know if you can tell, but pretty high spirits today. Beautiful views, dry trail. I was actually thinking about it, and we're getting kind of close to the halfway point. Still a couple hundred miles to go, so not super close, but we're getting there. But we're probably at or just past halfway as far as time goes. But excluding the Sierras, the front part of a through hike is normally the slower end of it, because you're working yourself up into shape and that sort of thing. And then you add in the Sierras and the snow that we've done and how slow we've been the past month or so. And I would imagine that the 1,145 miles that we've done, or right around there, is not going to take as long or be very close to the next 1,500, which I have mixed feelings about. It feels good. It feels good to have accomplished something, but also, I'm definitely not ready for this to be over. I know it's not. I know we're barely even getting close to the halfway point, so I need to just stay in the moment. But just kind of been reflecting on some of those things, and how much I've been enjoying being out here, even in the misery, and the accomplishment, and how good it feels to be done with something like that. And just a lot of different little things going on. And trying to be present, trying to be out here, but things always happen. My backpack, I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with it, because I don't think I can take it through another resupply. It's getting worse and worse. So at least there's an REI in Reno, so I'll be able to figure out that one way or the other. And then my shoes. I had ordered shoes on the 24th of June. It's July 2nd, and I haven't even gotten a shipping notification from the company I shipped it from. So I shot them an email, got service earlier this morning. But the good news, the silver lining, having all these, logistic issues, little bumps, hiccups, whatever you want to call them. The good news is that there's an REI in Reno, and I'm already planning on taking a day and a half there anyway. So if it takes a little longer to go to a different store to figure out what I need, it's not the end of the world. Not even close. So we're gonna keep trekking, keep hiking, keep moving, keep heading towards Canada. And the rest of the stuff, we'll figure it out as we go along the way. But today I didn't talk about yesterday. So yesterday we slept in because we got to camp late the day before getting through the Desolation Wilderness. Had to do that because we don't have bear cans anymore. So we had to get out of the Desolation Wilderness so we could legally camp without them. And the next day we slept in because of the late night the day before. And we had looked at the miles. From that point, I think we had like 40 miles right on the nuts to get to Donner Pass. So we were like, well, there's not really a point in getting there early. And so let's just take our time with it. And that's what we did. We did, I think, 12 and a half miles yesterday. We're doing about 19 today. And I mean, it's only 1:43. We'll be done hiking probably right around 2:15. Got less than a mile to go now. And so that's where we're at, where we're camping tonight. It's going to give us, I think, 9 miles. Could be wrong, plus or minus a mile. The hut we're staying at isn't actually a waypoint on the map, so I don't know the exact mileage, but it'll tell me once my GPS's location is there. Sorry, there's a little bit of snow we're avoiding right over there. Before coming out of here, I would have said that's a lot of snow we're avoiding. Oh, it's kind of funny how your perspective changes. Speaking of perspective changing, there was something I was going to talk about. Oh yeah, earlier today. Sorry, scatterbrain. Back to yesterday. So we did a short day, got to camp early, got a really nice campsite. A little bit exposed, but it was right behind a bluff from the direction that the wind was coming from. So actually pretty nice, great view like you would get from an exposed campsite, but it actually wasn't too exposed for us, which was phenomenal. Which was really nice because we got to hang out there for quite a while. But this morning, like I was saying, it's funny how your perspective changes. We started out with a bridge walk this morning, and you could see Lake Tahoe at times off to the right. We were hoping to see a nice sunrise above it. The sunrise wasn't terrible, but it wasn't epic like we were hoping it might be. But still nice, pleasant views. Dry trail for the most part, only a couple of spots with some snow this morning. And, I was doing some morning meditation reflection type stuff, and got done with that and looked over. It's like, well, I guess maybe we got some dry trail. I'll do an update. I haven't done one in a day or two. And I pulled out my little stick or whatever that I use, and then looked up and it was snow. And before going, like, it's just funny how your judgment changes, how the snow that we saw, like, early on, I would have had to have, like, prepared for it and tried to have gone down it carefully, but I look at it and I'm like, that run out's not too steep, we'll be all right. And I was kind of feeling a little lazy, didn't want to get my ice axe out, and I was like, that's not so bad. It's only steep for a second. So I just took my trekking pole and dug it into the ground, kind of leaned on one side instead of coming down on my bum like you do when you're saving with an ice axe. I just kind of leaned on one side and dug the tip of my ice axe in the ground to control my speed, and just slid on down and got on down there and kept on going about my business. And, like, it wasn't anything extravagant, spectacular, or anything like that. It's just kind of funny how something like that early on I would have had to try to figure out, what's the best way to get down here, and instead now it's like, well, this is gonna work. It'll be a little uncomfortable because snow's just starting to get a little soupy, so anywhere where I'm in contact with the snow is gonna be kind of wet and cold and nasty. But you know what, I don't want to think any harder than this. Let's just do it. That's kind of what goes through my head. So I don't know, I probably rambled on a little bit longer than is necessary for such a small thing such as that, but that's where my brain's at, and that's what we're doing. So, well, this video has a danger of getting awfully long, so I'm going to let you go, but just a reminder on the plan moving forward. We got 8 or 9 miles to Reno tomorrow. Aaron's going to pick us up. It's going to be at 10 o'clock at Donner Pass, the westbound rest area that we can get to right off the trail. And we're going to spend most of tomorrow doing town chores and everything squared away so that we can just enjoy and celebrate the 4th of July, get a 0 on the 4th, and then get back on trail early on the 5th. Probably try to do as big of miles as we can. We were talking about it. Beach has to go to a wedding early August. His brother's getting married, so he's got to get off trail and go do wedding stuff. So we're going to see how far we can get between now and then. Probably Oregon. How far in Oregon, we're not sure. So we'll see. But we've got a lot of miles to make between now and then. That's right at a month away now. And so we'll see. But that's the plan, is take it easy yesterday, a little bit today, a little bit tomorrow. Really enjoy the 4th of July, and once we get back on trail after that, get freaking moving. We've dilly-dallied long enough. It hasn't really been, playing around, but the miles haven't been adding up as much as they can, just because of the snow, which is understandable. But now it's time to put the rubber to the road. Our legs are broken in. We got trail legs, and we're about to get lighter packs and smoother terrain out in front of us. It's really time to see, what we can do, what we're made of. With that, we were talking today. I do want to be kind of conscious of a couple of things. Snow's probably a little bit softer on your feet than rock and dirt, so want to make sure that we're being cognizant of that, as well as the mileage we're putting on our legs is going to change a little bit. So we don't want to do too much too fast. Don't want to get an overuse injury, anything like that. But we are going to be ramping up and try to pick that average up. We're going to need to hit, starting July 5th, we're going to need to hit 22 miles a day on average, including 0 days, to get to Canada in time to get off trail when I would like to. Not to say that I won't continue if that gets delayed, but that's the ideal. Get off, around a week and a half or so into September. Anytime between September 7th and 12th for me would kind of be ideal, but we'll see. The trail has sometimes different opinions on what's going to happen. So we'll see. We're going to take it day by day. We'll give you one last view. We came down off the ridge, so we only get one side, but this side ain't bad. There we go. All right. Until next time.
So hard in here.